Despite the fighting talk from Daniel Hagari last night about being operationally ready for offensive and defensive responses to the Iranian attack, Israel did not launch any sort of response last night. And today on LBC, Lord David Cameron, has just been interviewed, and he says that his advice to Israel is that it should be smart. It should think with its head as well as with its heart, and now is not the time to stir up that hornet's nest. And Iran, for example, should recognize that it has failed. It's a double whammy. It's failed twice. And Israel now should concentrate on getting back the hostages. And he talks about the hideous captivity of those people who have been released, and the stories that they told, how he's met some of these people, the terrible things done to these hostages by Hamas, and the terrible attack by Hamas on October the 7th. What is essential now is to get back the hostages. That must be the objective, and that should always have been the objective. The decision to eradicate Hamas is, my personal opinion is, it's not a possibility, number one. Number two, to go it alone in this unilateral ground invasion across Gaza was doomed from the very beginning and was likely to become an attack on the civilian population, which is what it's turned out to be. The important move now is to deal with reality as we find it, to encourage Israel to implement and open up more of the gates and to allow more aid into the region, and to do whatever trades are possible to negotiate. At the moment, the offer of the hostage exchange, prisoner exchange, has so far been rejected by Hamas. Israel has gone a long way towards accommodating Hamas's demands, but it's probable that Hamas recognizes that it's got very, very little leverage left, and it needs to get as much as it can out of this last negotiation. At the same time, Israel needs to recognize that it hasn't put as much emphasis on the hostage release as it should have done. Fighting a ground war has not released hostages, and the story that dominates is, of course, the trigger-happy story of the hostages who were killed by Israeli troops, and the number of hostages discovered and released by the ground invasion is pitifully small. In fact, I think it's zero. I don't think any living hostages have been found by the invading forces. So I don't see that the ground invasion justifies the claim that it's to get back the hostages. It isn't. It hasn't. The hostages can only be got back by negotiation. I think they could have been got back by a united global response. And that was rebuffed by Netanyahu's pugilistic, macho, testosterone-driven decision to go it alone. But Cameron, always interesting to hear what he's got to say.